connecting with angels for a number of different reasons. It could be because we've been brought up in a religious background, because we've watched Hollywood and TV and television, and we've been kind of discouraged from having these very personal spiritual experiences. And the one thing that I've learned is that it's not actually that we're scared of angels. It's more everything that comes along with the experience of angels. Because when we begin to encounter the angelic and experience these beings, no longer is power in someone else's hands. No longer is this connection to something greater and divine in the hands of, your priest or your, religious leader or your coach or your guru or anything like that. The power comes back to you, and the truth is, not all of us are ready to be that powerful. And that's why we experience this feeling of being apprehensive of experiencing angels. But one of the most important things that I wanted to say with regards to that conversation is that any person that I've met who have experienced an angel always report this incredible love, this presence of being loved unconditionally. And I can, testify that from my own experiences and experiencing angels in my own life, is that whenever the angel is present, fear is impossible, because the angel emanates this love that is indescribable. And when that love is present, fear can only be a stranger. And it reminds me of the first time I ever encountered an angel. And the experience of this angel happened at a family friend's barbecue. I was 15 years old. I remember going to this family friend's barbecue with my mother, and she said, "Why don't you bring your angel cards along with you? And you can do a couple of readings for some of the people that are going to be at the barbecue." So 15-year-old curious me brought his angel cards along with him. And at that time, I had been doing angel cards, as a hobby for about 6 months. And I had got pretty good at it. This card means this and that card means that. And I got really good at just interpreting, the messages of the cards for people. But this one day changed everything forever. I remember doing a reading for this couple. One person went first. It was a gay couple. The first guy went. His reading was pretty good, but it wasn't like, anything to like write home about. And the second reading was what really changed the connection forever. I invited him to place his hands on top of the cards as they lay on the picnic table outside in this backyard. It was a warm summer's night. The sky was pink and blue and the sun was going down, but there was warmth in the air. And I asked him to close his eyes and think about anything that he would like support and guidance on. And I'd never met this guy in my entire life. It was my mum's friend's best friends from work partner. And I started to do this prayer, which I later found out every person who channels or does readings says. They always say a prayer something along the lines of, if there's any angels there, please let me be accurate. Please let me be right. Please let me prove to this guy that something is out there and something is real. I want to make a difference, something along those lines. And so I'm closing my eyes and just like hoping that I'm going to be accurate. And all of a sudden, I start to hear music in my mind. I could hear this song playing over and over and over again. And I opened my eyes and I said to the person, "Hey, can you hear that?" And he was like, "No." can hear what you're talking about. And I was like, well, I can hear the song Survivor by Destiny's Child. And he's like, no idea. And so if you don't know the song, it goes something along the lines of, I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make her keep on surviving. You know, something along those lines. So I hear the song and I close my eyes and I say, if this is a message, if there is an angel present, thank you for revealing your presence. And I open my eyes, and coming towards me is this infinite light, this pinpoint of light that's moving so fast, but yet it felt like time had frozen. The light's coming towards me, shooting towards me. And before I knew it, to my left, his right, was this gigantic figure of light. And I'm talking around 7 to 8 feet tall, elongated being with this long body like a tower, and my hair standing on end as I tell you about it right now. And this being had these eyes that were as dark as the midnight sky, but there was love there. And the being looked into my eyes, and the only way I could describe it is I felt naked. There was nothing that this being could not see. There was nothing that could be hidden. It knew everything and anything about me. I was spiritually naked. And in that moment, I heard this voice from within say, tell this man he is the survivor. And so I repeat the message. There's an angel standing behind you right now, and it wants you to know that you are a survivor. The guy says, what do you mean I'm a survivor? And I said, it feels to me that you've tried to leave this earth in one way or another, and something is keeping you here. There is a purpose and a meaning for your life. The guy was like, whoa, this is way too much. I've had enough. And as he said that, the angel disappeared. The voice disappeared from my mind, and the reading was complete. Later on that night, we go home, and my mother gets a call from her friend who was hosting the barbecue. And I can hear her, having this conversation, and she's going, oh, right, okay, I'll speak to him. So she calls on me and she says, what happened today at the barbecue? And so I said, well, I was trying to do a reading for this guy, and I closed my eyes, and then I started to hear this music in my mind, and the music became a message, and then all of a sudden there was an angel standing behind this guy, and it just told me to tell him that he was a survivor. And she goes, oh my God, what is going on? It turns out the man that I was doing the reading for had tried or attempted to take his own life several times. And every time he made this attempt, something unseen saved him. It seemed that whatever that may be appeared to me that night. And if you live in a small town, you'll probably know that word spreads like wildfire. And overnight, I was no longer a 15-year-old boy who was trying to bump his way through high school. I was the boy who could see angels. And every single time I tried to do it again, an angel appeared and told me a message. And that's how I ended up here where I am today. And that was 20 years ago this summer. Now, I want to go back to that story because there's a few important teachings in some of the initial experiences of me seeing this angel. And the first thing is when the angel came through, they spoke to me in a way that I could understand. They chose music. And they chose a song that I would understand rather than what my client or, my potential client would have understood. They spoke to me in my words, my language, at my level. And so in that case, Destiny's Child, Beyonce, Kelly, Michelle, the band I grew up loving, came through as this message for me to get to the word survivor. The other important part was when the angel appeared. Oh, the angel didn't just look at me, the angel looked in me. And it's come to my understanding that it's not just about being able to see angels. It's about allowing ourselves to be seen by angels. And that's where the shift begins. Because truth be told, that most of us are living in this world from behind a shield. We only want people to see certain aspects of us. We only want people to know certain parts of our lives. We only reveal so much of our lives to even people we love. And so there's this shield up where really it's to do with our sensitivity to the world and, wanting to protect ourselves from being hurt or for our goodness to be taken advantage of. But the truth of the matter is, many of us don't realize that the blockage that we're having with connecting with angels isn't anything to do with, you've not developed your third eye enough or your chakras are out of alignment. Of course, all of this information is important too. But the truth of the matter is that most of us are still not feeling good enough to be seen by angels. And most of us are still trying to perfect ourselves in some way, shape, or form in the hope that then after we do this thing, we'll then be good enough for the angels. But the truth of the matter is that where you are right now, your angels love you anyway. Your angels love you just because they do. Your angels love you because where you have come from is also where they have come from. You and your angels have both descended from the heart of God. And when your angel looks to you and into you, they see divinity. They see pure potential. They see the goodness that we might never be able to see in ourselves. And so as I come here today and share this information with you, and it's about, developing this connection to the angels, the big question I really have for you is this: are you willing to be seen?